Right. Go
GPMS.world
ahead,
is a
sister.
worldwide cumulative gathering of consents from every child, woman, and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide, as outlined on the consenting website of GPMS.world. It is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings to everyone. We are on Divine-gpms.world Open Public Worldwide Meeting on May 25, 2025. And we have with us representative and guardian of GPMS worldwide, and also Rick George, that is living in Romania at this time. Hi Rick, you started to speak a little bit about the flooding, about the ascension. I believe that everyone needs to hear that because we are living in very, very important times. And many people are asking what is happening exactly as yesterday, what is happening with the water. They see not the water where it was the place before. So it's like the water is moving. What really is happening? And all this flooding.
Thanks, Sister Beatrice. Well, I'll keep this quaint and short as much as Rick is able to do that without rambling. Uh, anyone can look online and you can see the unprecedented flooding as well. And the water amounts increasing with the intensity of these floods. So very quickly, Father has taken things into his own hands with this ascension. Also, what I've been given about perhaps a week or two ago from Father that I put out in a missive, an ascension update, that the waters are already beginning to rise in the oceans, and it will rise to perhaps about 100 meters above the current sea levels, if you will, worldwide. So this went out not to alarm ones, but just to inform ones. It would be a great idea to go to higher land when it resonated or guided with one to do so. So to keep that simple, there is a massive cleansing worldwide that is occurring. And just a bit ago today, I put it quickly, Father sent the message to inform ones to be very meticulous with on your properties, even if you live in the mountains. Your toxins in your garbage, your gas and oil that you may have in little sheds, to be a little bit more prudent on where these things are stored, because the flash flooding, if you will, it also occurs on the tops of mountains, and it takes all of these toxins and what have you down into the rivers and eventually into the oceans. But also, before it gets to the oceans, a lot of these toxins are beginning and will begin to drain into the water supplies, the reservoirs as well. Uh, it's important to, the water is so important, especially the good drinking water. So it's very important for ones to uh, be even more meticulous at where you're getting your water from to have the cleanest source. And also, with this earlier today, I had to write quickly in that post. What ones need to realize is that all of the drugs and synthetic drugs, complex toxins, even a lot of this in the human excrement goes into the sewage systems worldwide. As these sewage systems in towns begin to flood, which they're doing, and with the under the city drainage systems as they fill, they're unable to keep the proper drainage. So it's entering more toxins into the water worldwide from these as well. So again, this is uh, Mother Earth, Mother Nature is very, very well adept at cleaning up things quickly. However, there is the importance of being a little bit more responsible at this time to limit the effects of that. So yes, the waters are rising. Australia is a great place to look at just to see the depths of it, how many people have been evacuated in the unprecedented flooding. And also here in Romania, it has begun again closer. So it's not to spread the fear, it's just to be aware of what's occurring and keep your faith and your trust in God and this ascension and to know what's going on. And there has been and is continuously um, a, if you will, Brother Dave, I think used this last week. There is the calling of the darkness from the light. So there has to be events that account also for the darkness leaving our reality as well. So it's a combination of what is going on, and it's important for ones that are listening to this and that are in alignment with the ascension and the new world to keep your focus on to that and to know that you are safe with this and keep in alignment as we go forward. Uh, so having said this, this is what we're doing. We're observing the situations worldwide. I do as part of what I do. And again, this should not be ignored by anyone new listening now to what we're saying and also to what we're doing. There is also a sense of urgency to the degree that GPMS, again, is the ascension instrument and vehicle, and it's important at least for ones to be consented with it, because you can look at GPMS as the ship to your new world, and if you're not on that ship, you could flounder around in the waters, if you will. So it's best to be aligned, and for a couple minutes to ratify your vote. And the reason why it's still important to ratify your vote, because let's say in the blink of an eye, if we had the majority consents tomorrow, the waters and everything would stop and would recede, because all of creation is energy and everything is energy. However, having said that, I do not anticipate in the blink of an eye that we will have the majority consent for the simple reasons, as we're already seeing, so many are not in alignment with it yet. And there are certain other things that need to play out to, again, expose and reveal more of the darkness, but more of the illusions as well, and the trickery that was played on people to keep them complacent, thinking that someone else or a white hat or something like that was going to save them, because that is not the truth. And that was the false illusion to allow them to be complacent. So they began to be pinged off one by one, especially by the infamous warp speed or Operation Warp Speed, if you will. So as we go forward, as more and more events occur, it becomes more easier to connect the dots to the irrefutable base of who and what is actually the truth and what is not, what is the illusion that is inflicting harm upon humanity and continuously taking further steps to do that with separation and creating fear, um, and also measures taken that are increasing and inflicting more harm upon humanity. So, just to keep it simple, I'll stop there. Thanks.
So regarding the truth, because you know that some of us are asking for years and years for the truth to come out, and it's not coming out on media, even that minimum since 2024, it is possible to do that. Right now for GPMS, so when GPMS starts, yes, we have the plan for the money, yes, we have the plan for everything. But regarding the truth, regarding the media, there will be a true human history told, like the real truth. Because what is happening, for example, in the United States, as I said yesterday on the meeting, um, in Florida, for example, they banned practically the chemtrails, is the third-degree felony. If somebody tries right now that can try to do something and more than that, fluoride on the water, it's banned. So they started to attract the attention on some stuff. This is good. For some people, it's still new. I found just last night by 8 p.m. in a store somebody that told me, oh, yeah, maybe I felt like the darkness was in charge of the earth. We are in 2025, you know. So imagine that exactly as you said, many people are still not awake. So, and when I started to say more and more, she said, oh, it's interesting. So I'll be looking on. I hope it, because really we need for the people to open the eyes. So what is happening in Florida yesterday is good, but it's absolutely not enough because this has to happen in just a small part of everything. But it's a sort of attraction towards the truth and a sort also of exposure, whatever is happening. At the same time, the human history to be told and practically with the soulless people and everything that it is inside, this will be finally done by someone on earth like GPMS. We may hope then there the media will start to speak all the truth, not only a partial one.
Yeah, what I'll add with that, sister, is what you said, and I know Dave and knows, and perhaps all of this panel, the real truth has been put out there continuously. But what also has occurred is you had the resistance that keeps twisting, distorting, and manipulating the truth to the degree that then it brainwashes ones that have awakened to a certain level, for example, to then become aligned with the nonsensical Jacera Nacera illusion concept. And again, this is meant to keep them from their own sovereignty and their own true God, sovereign and independence, if you will. Um, so, having said that, it's these concoctions, these storylines by the darkness again that uh, there is that. What I wish to say, it's that an unprecedented cognitive dissonance that it's to the degree if with philosophy as well, you look at the Stockholm syndrome, what it is, and it's in alignment with the people just giving all of their power away, their will to fight is taken away, but also in their consciousness, they're unable to connect two simple dots to create a picture. They are given one dot per day by a government or whatever to follow that is directing their story. and it's been, with the awakening. But once one awakens, that they're able to put one and one together and to see that it actually equals three, if you will, then their expansion of consciousness begins to rapidly go forth. However, again, simply we had a meeting last night here in Romania, and I see so many yet to the degree glorifying Trump. And it's absolutely preposterous. And again, I speak the truth. Last night, look at his actions, look at his deeds. Simply, I mentioned about South Africa going in and demeaning and blaming the indigenous people for a mass genocide, what he said, on the white farmers. And it's absolutely preposterous because, again, with GPMS, it's a simple solution that everyone is happy in South Africa, but also around the world. But what he will attempt to do is to cause blame and also energetic projections towards the indigenous communities of South Africa to put that aggression in there, but also to get the whites, if you will, to cause the separation. So, this is a deed of separating, and this is a notorious tactic of the darkness to separate, conquer, divide, and conquer, and to rule over them. And so with that, when you look at Mexico in the deportation, what Trump is doing, it's stirring up a lot of fear, but it's also revealing a lot of truth of what Trump in the agenda is as well. These are not humane actions. These are savage actions intentionally inflicting harm upon so many of humanity. Again, the simple solution, if Trump was a divine one, the simple solution would be to endorse GPMS and assist with doing this, because then all of the Mexicans, they love their home. They would have no reason to leave Mexico because they would be in the full abundance and there would be no immigration problems worldwide anywhere. It's the actual dark system that is doing this and perpetuating it further. So what is so, I mean, the truth needs to be said. Also, in the Oval Office, what an insult to the indigenous peoples of not only the US, but Canada and North America. When he goes in the Oval Office and puts up the big a symbolic picture of General Jackson, which is known as the Eliminator, which facilitated much abuse upon the indigenous people and even genocides of the indigenous people in the past. You know, a a good divine president would not segregate and separate people. He would bring them together. So I mean, it's becoming more clear. Yes, he is the Antichrist. Look what he symbolizes. He comes from the place of the top elites, if you will, with the capitalistic structure, which is the beast system, which has caused the harm upon humanity. So, I again, I could go on, but I mean, I just mentioned three dots, and then I'll mention the fourth dot, Operation Warp Speed. What did it do worldwide? When you began to look at this unprecedented, as a result of warp speed, the unprecedented results with millions and millions dying very quickly, is Operation Warp Speed? Was it really a good thing to support humanity? What did it actually do? And again, connect all these dots. If you've got a white hat government or any good governments worldwide that are in the best interests of the people, you don't see them doing these types of deeds. it would be the opposite deeds to bring everyone together and to support everyone worldwide. But also, as we're saying with GPMS, money is a beautiful thing. It can be used as a good, beneficial, uplifting tool for all of humanity when dispersed and handled correctly, not the way that the beast system is doing it by creating separation of peoples and classes and robbing them of their dignity. Their it's absolutely sick. In fact, I'll stop there. I mean, I'll say one more thing. How much more does people need to see, or how many more dots before they can put these dots together to get the clear picture? What is good for the people and what is not? It's that simple. And the beast system is not good for the people. It's intentional. It doesn't have the intent to to place everyone in comfort. It only has the intent to give the illusion and false hope, but it can never deliver on it because its intent is not there to do so.
Yes, yes, Rick. So, first of all, they are not making public about the truth about the soulless people. This is the most important, and practically they posted to support the discrimination that Trump is speaking about. They posted also a video with somebody from the government in Africa that it's singing "Kill the Whites." So um, they need to tell to the people the truth about the soulless minions of the darkness, but they are not doing that. This is the first problem. And they try to divide there, and because they are killing all the humanity, they wanted to kill the 19%. In Africa, they separate the people on the skin color, and they put each other to kill each other and to hate each other. So yes, this is the mechanism, and Trump is doing that all the time. And on the back of the Trump, there are other people that they set up the Republic of the 1871 or whatever, 1776 or whatever it is the year around these years. They are born in the United States. They are part of the MAGA, Make America Great Again. They are on the back of Trump. They are saying, no, we do not mix on external stuff. We care about our internal United States and everything. Practically, they are not seen by the people. They are known by some. And they started to post also a president from a country for their republics has to be born like I do not know how many generations in the United States or in that location, or the people working for the government in the future have to be born in that location. It's all the time to separate and to put the label as immigrant. And I will ask him public in the future when the time will come, and I will see him in whatever meeting. How is him better than me if his grandparents are here in the United States for years, but much better than me that I'm not doing discrimination and I'm not pushing this Trump agenda with presidents and fake pyramids, with fake with artificial laws and everything. How is he better than me? And practically, we know that discrimination equal that. So what they are doing there, it's practically about criminality, but they are saying that they are saving the people, they are saving the earth. So it's just amazing that the Father God took on his hands this ascension and everything, because what is happening there, they They lie about the sovereignty. The sovereignty is only the one individual sovereignty, or the sovereignty described by the decree GPMS, and is not recognized in another way. It is told in so many languages. I found this in the past too, but they try to change all the time just to keep their, because of their ego that they want to create. They want to make something good for the people, for them to be recognized, and everything. And they try also to hide this kind of stuff. So it's not all about Trump that is doing that. There are also other people on the back, and also I saw in the past some people from MAGA coming out and posting hate videos, small hate video against the immigrants, like, we will get our republic and you will get out from here and whatever you will be doing, or this kind of stuff. It's a huge issue that is coming. I spoke in the past about a new mafia forming to the top level of earth, because by the end this is what they are doing. They push the republic to be inserted and recognized on every area named as country today, and after a couple of years they will insert a president or Dwight. They will open the borders and they will insert a president or Dwight. Then they will take over everything, and this president will do not have only 2 terms like 4 years plus 4 years, will have unlimited terms. So thank you so much, Father God, that you are taking on your hands everything, because it is already too much. And I'm saying this for years and years. And I posted also um, um, like an audio, it's on video too, on MP4 format, asking where it is my right of self-determination in Romania language, and started to be heard by the people on Q Romania and White Hats Romania. Had a little bit of success, but they are still doing their work like they believe that they are doing for the benefit of Romania country, but this is not the truth. So the truth is that the discrimination is killing, and the people that discriminate and hate to this point other people, and they are not saying the truth, label others as immigrants, and they are not saying the truth about the soulless people that are making problems and not the true immigrants. When they put all this hard label on others, they are absolutely this is a huge violation of the human rights, even at this time on their artificial laws, but they try to hide it and to try to be like the savior of the world and to be seen like that. No, they are not. And I started also to have proof on that, and I will gather more in the future. So I am really interested for the earth to have somewhere the truth told, because this situation with MAGA and everything made GPMS do not be seen on North America. And I had a lot of problems speaking with groups and groups, and they were practically blind, believing on a sort of army, that it's a sort of protection. I'm not saying that this army are not made by some of them very good people, but at the top of this MAGA, it is something that it's absolutely part of the darkness and is never clean up. And this is the problem. So they are saying we need just another cleanup. To the beginning of 2023, when I spoke in a meeting, and probably you were also there, and it was also the one from the White House there, and I told them that they have infiltration. He said nothing. By August 2023, I found a video when he recognized that yes, they had infiltration on the White Hats, and this was the reason that they were not able to start the Jessara Nesara, that even right now is not started. And after that, it was the Hawaii situation and also the Israel one that started to be seen. And they said the war is coming from the underground, so they are coming from the underground, and we do not know how many they are because inside of the underground there are so many tunnels. So the population is not, it's coming. I'm not saying that the truth was not put out. It was put out, but some information, so practically it's filtered. It's not told all the information, all the truth there. And others are coming, depends from the source or everything. It's not so clear or it's not the same one, or so depends on who is keeping the channel or everything. So the people, even on the alternative media, they have no idea what channel they have to follow, which one is pure, which one is filtered, so they have no any kind of idea. This is the reason that I'm asking all the time about the truth. And practically with the human rights and everything should be told. We do not need to fear that we are speaking about someone and something may happen to us. So this is the freedom of speech, and this kind of discrimination and situation, limitation on our rights, like the borders that are keeping the control, and it's never used for anything else than control the humanity and everything. This has to be told. And when you do not have the right as immigrant to be hired by a government because you are not born in that place, this is absolutely discrimination, and these cases has to be shown somewhere. So right now, because this is a very hard situation, and if everything that we hope that the discrimination will ends when the white hats enter, but in reality, when Trump enter, the discrimination just go higher, and we have problem as parents to see our children that are under the 18 age, so years old. So this is huge. So when we have this kind of problems, even when Trump is there and they are saying that the white hats is behind, for sure there is an infiltration enough inside of the white hats, part of the darkness, and this has to be addressed somewhere. We do not need to fear to speak out about that. So I do not know more and more the people, because the system of law, we know the courts and everything, it's practically not working, and the people are asking money under the table in cash just to put somebody, so accuse them, and after that to be free again. They are asking money, and this is bribery that it's using still in many countries. Practically right now the question is coming more and more. There could be some universal law courts open in the new system. For sure, we need a human history to be told, but at the same time, also the soulless people should be by the end, when there is a case like human trafficking and everything, the question will be there: who made that? If he's a soulless one or has a soul, or what really happened there? A sort of identification. But more and more the people are asking, above, on top that, after all the truth it's told, and the people have an image, a general image of everything that is happening, could be there some cases, universal law cases and courts made inside, like on the new system, minimum for the human trafficking and for what it's called right now freedom fighters, that they are suppressed by the actual system, and right now will come also by the fake republic that will be bring worldwide, when they will impose other kind of the rules, and this will come against those keeping the universal laws. So everything that you said about the native Indians, we know that the killing of the native Indians It's coming for years and years, and the reason it's that because they support in natural law, then they try to insert the corruption inside of the tribes and practically to put the native Indians do not be seen as they are in reality by all the people because they know natural laws, so that they have this knowledge, and this was the reason for the population to forget the universal laws, do not be known, do not be seen, do not interfere with their pyramid scheme and artificial laws. So we know that. We see right now what is happening in Africa, exactly what you said, and you surprised also Trump there. So this is not by mistake. This is made against the universal laws implementation. This is coming against them. Then we have to have a court system to start to have a court system or something. Minimum, we have not the power at this time, but practically to have these cases told, and we will see the light in the future for these cases under universal laws. What should be there the situation? Because the actual system with federal police and everything that is coming all the time against the freedom fighters, against the universal laws, via Trump politician, it's impossible to pass through the actual system. What may be the situation with on GPMS world?
Um, I'd like Brother Sergey had his hand up for a while, if I may. Let Brother Sergey, and then I'll speak. Thank you.
Oh yeah, hi everyone. I just would like to add for everything what Rick and Beatrice said before with the Trump. So it's like for me, like Trump was like a first question about his first presidency. It's like he did like a sign up the order to the say during his presidency, and he was spoken about like we and military and national guard gonna distribute everything. We just gonna people don't worry, everything gonna be in time. Just get in line, you'll get it. So if he was president and he didn't know what is going on around his office and his like health departments, and just this Wuhan labs was started working years before him and he was president, he should know everything. To make him like he was stupid and didn't pay attention and blame right now Fauci and all the rest like who's behind the scenes, and also like not right because he's like a main man. He's the president. He has to be in a court and answer the questions, but not the Fauci and all the rest. Or he has to be in a court with all of them, everybody together in one line. And second point, in the South Africa, sure, he just trying to put the president of South Africa on emotion. He just saw some video, show some pictures about this like a killing of the people. And after that, in a couple of days, even Democrats said it was not true. It was not happened in South Africa. It was in Kenya. But anyway, people died. And he just tried to play the game with the president of South Africa, like he played with the president Zelensky. I'm not defending Zelensky, but I'm just saying it's like a game of Trump. He just trying to put people on a line and just trying to manipulate them and show them how bad they are. Look at them. I am the good one. They are the bad one. Let's like separate them. Just he's doing what he's doing. That's his game. And it's like, I don't know. It's like we have to see it. It's like years and years promises about Nasara and nothing happened. And even right now, there's like a true stalkers saying, "Oh, we're gonna give everybody like a centers of medbeds gonna start it soon, but not everybody gonna be like having access." Why? Because if you don't have enough spiritual advance, I don't know, like spirituality, you will not have access. So now you're gonna divide the people who has, who's not. You're gonna decide. It's like it's the same. It's like if you're a good guy, if you're voting for Trump, you'll have access. If you don't, okay, step back. It's it's all, you know. Okay, thank you very much.
Dear Sister Beatrice, what was your question again? But just before you asked that, I believe a little bit of the last part about
Yeah, so
tribunals.
practically it is more because they are saying right now that cases with human trafficking are solved. In reality, many cases with elements of human trafficking are not solved. They are saying that they will respect the human rights. In reality, the discrimination is there, and it is worldwide, and it is a label as immigrant, and you have no the right to be present in a country. If you are not born there, you have no right to work for the government. So this no right will come. What they are doing right now, they are agitators. So practically they are working on the people to infiltrate the idea of this kind of the discrimination is just another separation. And when I ask this big one from the United States, from the Marine, and I ask him that he's on the back of the Trump, he's hidden there, and he's pushing this discrimination too. And I ask him, so why do you put this question to the people if they agree that the immigrants do not work on the government? And his answer was like, this is my right to ask everybody what. No, it's not about your right to do not respect others. So if you do not understand the true sovereignty and the universal laws and the human rights, why are you there? Just to be hidden under the Trump? That practically this is a mask for the discrimination that he's doing behind the scene. And he's one that was pushing one of the two speakers that come from there to say that the White Hat is real. And he's the one that it's working through the groups also in Canada. This is one of the reasons that we cannot push the GPMS here and practically turn the group to keep with them because they are doing a great change, putting Trump in charge and everything. So we had enough. So this is one of the reasons. And it is a huge one that I address for years and years. The GPMS cannot start in North America. It is because of these small people behind this mega that in reality, I'm so sorry to say that, they are minimum, how can I say, they need to be seen minimum for discrimination issue. Okay, if they did a lot of good for humanity, this is great, and this has to be told too. But at the same time, when you push away GPMS, you do not want to be there, you start to say lies about the founder of GPMS, Rick George, because you want to put GPMS down. You try to distract Beatrice for 3 years from GPMS. When you try to impose your MAGA on every group that we had 2020, 2024, when we know what happened there and everything. So there is a list of facts. Are you uncredible, really, to move this humanity forward and to be on the back of Trump for everything that Trump is doing? Because this affects the humanity and this affects the non-implementation of universal laws. And this is not a right to start to put a question like, would you agree for the immigrants not be working on the government or do not have the right to be like the president or something? So practically working for a position where you can have influence or you have a say. So your voice has to be shut down just because you are not born in that area, in specific area. So the question practically on this top subject and the killing of native Indians, it's because, and we know how they try to infiltrate the corruption inside the tribes and everything, just to get away from the natural law. This is the first reason, and we know that. So when they try practically to cover and they do not support the universal laws and they are doing nothing like that, there should be any possibility in the future in GPMS for this kind of situation to be told to the masses, minimum, because our video 100, 1000, 3000, maybe some people will see that, they will say nothing. I do not know what will happen from there. But I would like for the masses to be informed, because really it is enough. Discrimination means that, and we know that.
Well, just to begin, discrimination and what it is, the legal systems worldwide are not to defend human rights, if you will. It is actually allowed within the legal systems to discriminate and not to go within this so far, but just to give the obvious example of what we're discovering in Austria with their misleading statements that they put out to the U.S. Embassy and to the world, but also with UN and the European Union with their constitution. What they put out is they say they don't discriminate. However, the real truth is what we're finding as a micro example in Ya's case that they absolutely do. So the thing is the lies that they put out to keep the majority of the population thinking this. And with everything, with the current worldwide system, it is all an illusion and all a lie. And but again, the problems is with even the white hat movement, it is a lie. But the problem is the people believe it, and they are caught in the illusion, and they do not know this yet until they awaken to see everything for what it is. So again, the entire legal system worldwide, and again, international law is just a farce because it's a gentleman's agreement by all of the countries worldwide. But if the countries don't want to abide with it, they don't need to, and there is no one to enforce a country to or to force a country to abide by it. So it's all a farce, if you will, but it's all set up to put the illusion upon humanity that they have rights and that the governments give them certain rights. But again, it's all a lie and it's all the enslavement system. Uh, for killing Indians in the past, it's designed by the darkness to create the friction between the good white people, if you will, in Canada that come, and the friction between the Indians, the natives, and what actually occurred. It's to create that separation and animosity between them. And what I need to say is that again, most of the Caucasians in Canada are good people, are good souls. They aren't the problem, but it was that perpetration to create animosity and conflict. So to keep a certain amount of aggression going in Canada so that they could divide and conquer and all of these other dark tactics. So again, the tribunals, even what they put up, in the International uh, Criminal Court of Justice, and yeah, I believe with UN members and what have you. Again, these are all infiltrated. They're all just guises and props that are put up there to make the people think that someone is actually doing something for them. And again, the whole truth is no, that is why GPMS is the people, and it's why it's the divine will of God to gather those that can see through the illusion to save how much of humanity that we can save by aligning them. And each time we're contending with obstacles from the darkness. And what you touched on, what I'll bring up because it may come more to light within GPMS itself, there was an intentional plan to attempt to remove I. And, I come under attack for no founded reasons whatsoever, but it was an orchestrated intent. And it was from the darkness herself to begin to remove I from there. And more of this will come out if it needs to in the future, but it's also designed as a distraction, which I know what it is fully, and no, I don't get into this. Our priority is for the people and to bring GPMS to fruition with unity, and anything of separation or that's oriented towards that, or if you see brothers and sisters in GPMS, you look at the one that's attacking the other and doing it, and it becomes very clear who is light and who is dark. Simply the light, we don't attack others, we don't provoke, we don't do this to this extent. We are GPMS brothers and sisters that is here. We don't fight among ourselves. What type of an example is that? However, a fight, if you will, was instigated, and it was done intentionally to cause division, but rightfully so, because with this division, it's separating the wheat from the chaff, the dark from the light. And again, what I have told some in here and um, in GPMS, we have to take GPMS forward. This is Father's will. So we had to do a purification, set up a new channels. We had to put the website in a divine feminine's name. However, that was going to be done before the attack on I anyway, except it was rejected. And I don't wish to get into, again, the details of this thing because we do what is right, what is just, and what is God's will at taking this forward to the people. As I said before, GPMS cannot be contested, nor opposed, nor competed with. So any contingent, if you will, that is currently within GPMS and trying to cause further division, their attempts become futile because it further exposes their intent to the others. So, with this, you can say it's a very good learning process as well to also um, direct other GPMS members towards what divine law actually is and what the actual divine intrinsic rights of each individual is, and that mutual respect to, in the minimum, not attack another, and more definitely not to create a trial that deprived one fully of their due process, which is a very important divine right. And these ones continued to, even though I put the remedy in the group, and even though I showed them how they were breaking divine laws in their own oaths, they proceeded. They proceeded because it was an intent. It was intentional to do this. So I just put that a little bit out. Having said this, I propose next Sunday with the GPMS guardians that have been vetted that we are in the new group of GPMS, Divine GPMS Guardians. I request to have a meeting next Sunday. I put that in the notice in the group for whoever it resonates with. And I believe we may need to address a little bit more of this because one of the reasons that I do know genuine divines, brothers and sisters of GPMS are also under some of the illusion by the darkness, if you will, in there. And so I may need to put more of the truth out. I haven't put the full truth out yet, but if I do, it will distinctly show how the attack on I and GPMS was intentional to break the integrity of what GPMS is. And very simply, in one sentence, if you have GPMS members putting someone on trial within our main part of GPMS, which was our GPMS Telegram group, and denying them due process for their own defense and just blocking them, how much more intent do you need to see? And also attacking I with whatever allegations it was. They were all unfounded because there was nothing they could find. So they had to try to manipulate, concoct some stories with it. Because again, they had to support their intent, their underlying intent was to separate and segregate and diminish GPMS.world. It was a very, very dark betrayal. And that is the truth of it, a betrayal not only of I, but of what the absolute integrity of GPMS and all its members to undergo something so severe that broke all of divine law. It was absolutely sick. And again, I rambled on quite a bit with this, but I do know there's members on here that did see what was going on, and many had to leave because again, we are strong empaths. When you can feel if an energy is demonic or if it's light, and believe me, what occurred in there, it was the most hateful demonic energy that you ever could see. And I was in there, I did my work at showing them how they were breaking their law so they would stop. But over the course of time, it showed no, they had no intentions of stopping because they had the underlying agenda. And what they did is any that would believe their story to bring them in the course of trying to separate from what GPMS is. So it was a very dirty trick, if you will, by the darkness, but it doesn't matter because the light always perseveres. And if we there are times, as with this truth I just shared, ones may not know it yet or see it yet, but this truth does exist and it does persevere, meaning that whatever they were doing, it is futile. They can continue to do it, but it gets eradicated. So so worldwide, yes, we're dealing with all these falsehoods, these stories. You need to realize that the darkness itself is very afraid and it cannot create. Only thing that it does is influence influences one's minds with lies and concepts to get them to believe it, to take them away from the truth. And again, the biggest, because the darkness is afraid with Trump and with Q and with the white hats and all of this thing, this illusion, this great illusion to make it look like the good guy is doing something for humanity, when in reality, as I said, if you began to connect all the dots, you'll see it's actually the opposite, what is being done. And you'll also see with any white hats what they're saying. If the white hats were in charge worldwide, why would the world be in this devastating, increasing, devastating state today? I mean, how much more telling is it? So, so really, with everything what they do, Sister Beatrice and all, it's all an illusion and it's deceit and lies. So what I like to take is the whole thing because it's all part of the beast system, the political system. Put it all in one bag and just throw it away. We know what needs to be done, what is uplifting for every child, woman, and man on this earth, and what benefits all, and what does it instantly stops all of the war, all of the poverty, and advances humanity out of this present demonic savagery of the beast system and into a civilized, humane world. So we have everything, and yes, it's that cognitive dissonance, if you will, that is out there that creates the gap. And again, how do you overcome that? Well, we just keep being persistent with what we're doing, and our mission is we cannot save everyone, if you will, but we do our best to save all that we can. And yes, when I when I say save, This is the truth because this is what GPMS does. This is what all of us are here to do as we do in our own beautiful ways to give the truth to others and say, hey, come on, we know how to fix everything. We got the full solution. And, we present it to the ones that are open to it. But having said this, we got some highlights. I believe we'll have some more. Also, Sister Beatrice coming in and everyone with GPMS, some more brothers and sisters to sit in these meetings and also to get a fully sanctified Father's Words panel 72 set back up again with ones that are in their divine dignity. So these things will continue forward as well. So we have two things playing out at once. We have what I'll call it a rapid devastation worldwide, not only from the disasters, but also from the monetary policy of the draconian criminals, if you will, that's creating huge inflation as many are losing everything they had, their homes due to floods and other natural disasters, landslides, and crops due to hail, and all of these things. So, as more pressure comes upon humanity and they actually see the truth where they're not supported by the existing beast system, it also forces them to make other choices. With anyone, God does not harm. So you need to look at if you lose everything, that it's just part of your transitioning and that there is truly the gold at the end of the rainbow. You're just not there yet. So keep your faith and your trust. If you lose everything, know that you persevere and we rebuild, but you're rebuilding the new world where everyone has everything they ever wanted. So it's important to know that. I just did a quick calculation. I was looking at how much money the US sent to the Ukraine and and I just did a quick calculation. So apparently every child, woman, and man in the US contributed around 520 US dollars to that actual war. So every individual in the US. So again, within the matrix with your taxes and your money, you should look at what you're funding. I know myself, with every individual in the US, you would not wish to fund a war, if you will. So you need to look at where your money's going in all places, but not only the war, these big pharmaceutical companies where your taxes, where your pensions are actually your pensions are taken by governments and put into all of these things to support it as well. But I don't want to go deeper into that because we're dissolving the old system. But the truth and the dynamics of it becomes even more clear when you see what you're doing when you're supporting this beast system that is constantly inflicting so much harm upon humanity. Um, and I was, I'll stop there. I'll leave someone else speak. I do have something else will come up in the near future.
Yeah, so practically we may hope that moving forward with ascension and everything, the good people inside of this supposed mega make America great again and everything will start to realize that universal laws are the future and the truth, and they will come forward with GPMs because some of them to the top seems to be stuck on their illusion, and it does not matter what reason you may present them, they try to lies just to get out from the discussion and everything, and they do not want to participate on GPMS meetings because there will be public question. This is the reason. So we hope that the others will come, are very welcome at any time. If few of them they have this discrimination issue inside of them, this is part of the darkness that needs to be cleaned up, and others are very, very welcome. So what I realize a little bit, it's like the people seems to be more around those that they try to do something inside of the actual system and they gather interest from there. So it's practically gathering interest for immediate result. Exactly as the mother said, Rick, for example, okay, you are changing the world, this is great, but I have my child right now, took away that practically, can you make something for my child like tomorrow to be or today to be back to my home? No, we cannot do that immediately. So when we are not doing that immediately, the people interests start to be low and they move to support and to be follower or some that promise them something like immediately or in the actual system. This is another huge problem that I saw all the time. So they are not able to work even with their mind on many sides. Said, okay, I'm looking also to solve this situation as much as I can and as soon as I can inside of the actual system. That I'm working also on that. But I do recognize that this is not the best way. It does not matter the result. And I'm also planting the seed and I'm also speaking about GPMS and practically making for myself the future. So everything that we create today, I experience tomorrow. They are not doing that. They do not plan on that. They cannot see that. So practically they are a little bit like small machines, you know, it's inside of the actual system that somebody needs to make something for them. So this is the situation. It is about autonomy. In another words, after everything that happened in Canada, the new situation in Alberta, specifically in Alberta, the people are looking more, I'm not saying independence, but autonomy. Autonomy seems to catch again in Alberta, so they seems to be again to pay more interest for autonomy after everything that they saw in the election. And also the Romania election is practically the darkness in power just back. And it's very hard. It's huge there. So exactly as you said, if the White Hats was able to change or the president or white, what this situation is still happening in Canada and we saw also in Romania and also other parts of the world. So the influence there is still not enough. There is not a real power for every location in the world. Yes, Eric.
Oh, thank you. In reference, with the mothers or the parents worldwide attempting to get their children back, again, what you need to know is that the legal system of every country supports taking the children from you. So, because of this, it is to the degree futile to accept their solutions to attempt to get your children back, because what many will find, you will do what they say. You'll perhaps even take a parenting course, but yet they'll come up with other reasons. Now they say we won't give them to you because it's intentional. So what I need to say, again, what we are doing presently is again, uh, the legal systems worldwide are basically built on contract. So it recognizes contracts without I getting deeper into this. So you need to be well informed, even to confront the legal system, to throw away all of its blocks, to leave it defenseless. But what I need to say, that is a very, you need to it is a very informed strategic result. But also what you'll find without uh, public support on this, it will not get very far as well, because the beast system is designed to protect itself at all cost, and where one of its intentions is to support the taking of children, it will do all of this. And not only that, with the dark system, it's designed its tactics to begin to segregate you, to begin to discredit you falsely, to make you look like you're psychologically sick. Then it'll begin to force you into all of these court hearings where you need to pay money for lawyers, if you will, to financially burden you, to get you as small as you can. And then when there's no fight left in you, what many of the moms do is they commit suicide. There's nothing left, or they go into a crazy house and they're controlled by the darkness themselves. So ones need to realize that very, very few do get their children back. And what I said before, the only reason they do is that the system has to have a uh, heavy show, to give ones. It's actually, they'll say, let's say out of 100 children, we'll let these parents have their children back, just so that then it gives others hope. They'll say, hey, look, this one out of 100, they got their children back, so it's hope. But it's actually only a false hope by the system. They need to show that. Because, for example, if they didn't give any children back, then it becomes more obvious of their intent. So they create the illusion that there is nothing wrong with taking the other 99 children by showing falsely to the people that one child was given back out of a 99. So they create that illusion as a fail-safe mechanism to keep the people believing that their artificial laws and their child protective service is actually real and bona fide when it's not. So again, it's that illusion that is created. And it's why I'm telling moms, why we're telling moms, come on, you got to get united worldwide now. And it's the only way that you can stop this and replace this ridiculous artificial legal system with divine law worldwide. It is truly your only choice at doing things. We are going into the beast system, confronting it, letting it know that we know the higher laws. But yet, at the end of the day, if you don't have the public, a wider public supporting that, it's going to have little effect. So again, with that, the only way to win this really is to have GPMS to the majority vote as soon as possible that enact the higher divine laws, which this beast system cannot contend with, and it's over and done. You don't need to really confront this beast system. You do the opposite at uniting everyone, and the strength in the numbers collapses this beast system. For example, in Austria, there's probably about 200 politicians. If you get a million people supporting, saying that the laws is wrong there, and supporting GPMS, boom, the beast system has a big problem on its hand, because when it's no longer supported by so many people, it has no choice but to reform or collapse. So again, the people don't know the power yet that they have. And this is, again, uh, it's prevalent throughout. This is the thing. The people have been robbed of their power, but the thing is, they don't even know they've been robbed. Thank you.
We know that the evolution, the level how we are saying the fifth dimension, sixth dimension is coming also with the purity. And some people are asking if they can travel via portal per dimension. So for example, to be portal opens for the fifth dimension and more only, that practically those that they cannot move on the fourth dimension advance or fifth dimension minimum, they cannot travel via that portal. So can we travel, first of all, can we travel in the future via portals? This is one of the question. And the second one, it is, how can we protect the earth for others to come? Like, because we had the third dimension here and they did everything that happened. So practically to be able to detect the third dimension coming on Earth, do not be able to penetrate, because right now we know there is a lot of work in place, but in the future, how we can protect us from this do not happen again.
All right, first thing, and I see Brother Sergey has his hand up. I'll address this as short as Rick is able to and what is possible. First thing, there is no longer a third dimension. We are all in a fourth dimensional reality with access to the fifth and sixth and higher dimensional states of being. Number two, the portals are being opened worldwide, but ones need to understand that the accessibility is limited and it will bring you back to the setting divinely, because there is a huge divine protocol and mission that is occurring here. So you can't escape. You may be introduced and have an experience in some of the portals, but it's not sustained. And one of the reasons why is because the energetics of this reality does not sustain the divine proportions of any portals and other worlds to any degree. You'll keep getting pulled back. So what I need to say with the portals being opened, they're not fully accessible because the energetics of this reality and this dimension does not support it yet. What does support it is all of those aligned in virtue and faith in this new world begins to open more of these portals and stargates and access to them. And just to share with everyone, this is also part of the work what I and we, a small number that we do on Earth at preparing the energetic dynamics for and reactivating the stargates, the ancient stargates, because typically what happens in this great time of the ascension of the world's civilization, the real truth is that just at the time that the reality is ascended to a new reality. Things such as stargates are opened to facilitate this as well in portals. But also the connection when with the multiverse and the multi-dimensional spectrum and all of the other existing life forces, when these doors are opened as well, when it comes to that time with planet Earth, then yes, all of these magical things appear. And archaeology worldwide and science is already showing you underwater cities, towns, structures that have been buried, and also the opposite archaeology, but also facts and research. I love using Peru up in the mountains where there's an ancient, I think it's 2 kilometers or 2 miles above sea level. That was when the Andes, up in the Andes, that there's an actual port, a seaport that there that is all dried out more or less and just part of a lake now. but around its shores it has seashells that are normally found in salt water, and they're from the ocean, and also the quay that was made as part of the port it showed a high intellect and ingenuity when that was built, totally indicative and subjective, I guess I could use that word, uh, of other advanced civilizations on Earth. So I just wanted to touch on that because all of that is very real, and the way that things do occur in this reality and on Earth, as well as let's say Atlantis, when one's become familiar with that. What I wish to say, Atlantis did not sink; it actually ascended. It was time for that to occur, but to keep that truth contained, it was accepted as common knowledge that it actually went in destruction and sunk, but actually, no, it ascended, it went forward. And this is the same as um, with Inca again, with an Inca civilization in Peru, a whole community vanished there. They had separated themselves in the past from the other people, purified their souls and what have you, and that whole community up in the mountains just disappeared with, I believe, at their dinner table, the plates and forks, everything, or whatever they had, the eating utensils were all there in place and just everyone gone. They had vanished. But the truth is that they had reached also such a point of their divinity and with their light body that they could do it. And I'll say divinely, they were allowed to do it, to leave behind a breadcrumb, if you will, also of information of what is possible, but also to know that what ones consider phenomenon are a very real part and are something else. It is more than what humanity and science thinks it is. It is divine what occurs with us. But again, the mysteries of life on earth and with the death uh, that was kept as such that way. But again, we're in this time now that ones are given more of the truth. So you're in alignment with the heaven on earth and the ascension and ascending into, again, out of this hell. This is purgatory you're currently in, is the way to look at it. It's the last top level of hell before you enter heaven. So if you look at the beast system here today, this is why it's so important for everyone individually to do the right things and purify so that your energetic field in your consciousness is aligned with the heaven on earth. And that's why GPMS is the ascension vehicle also to that effect, because it's an energetic vehicle. And once you come into GPMS, abstractly and unbeknownst to you, if you have not done all of your inner work, you will be subjugated to tests and trials to get it done very quickly. And occasionally, with this process, we will have ones come into GPMS, but then they get confronted with um, unpassed tests. So then they need to just rescind their consent. But what I need to say, it's also, I've seen it happen with one. She had to rescind her consent, but then again, she come back in later once she had, her tests mastered, if you will. And it's not the same for everyone. It depends on how much your soul has to do to prepare, for the transitioning, because we're speaking about an energetic transitioning as well. And if your energy is all negative, you cannot go into a positive place. Physics, that sort of physics does not work that way. So you need to at least, in the heart, be a good soul or a good person, which 77% of the world population, even though they're morally corrupt to some degree, most of them, they still have the good intentions and the good intrinsic knowing that can be activated at any time. See, it's the beast system that wishes to make everyone a criminal to control them by doing lies, deception, cheating on taxes, even though, this is a corrupt system. But if they trick you into cheating on taxes, then you are into a deception in your energetic field. And so, what I teach, no, you have the choice not to pay taxes because you can see what it is. Once you know that it is an illusion, and once you are endowed with enough knowledge to know not to pay it, then you are fine to not pay it. And you will find you won't get a call from the IRS or the Canadian Revenue Agency or what have you. Because energetically, what it does, you have stepped more into your knowing and your sovereignty, which creates a physical field that does not allow for this. And for each one, it's different. So it's about owning your sovereignty, but at the same time, your sovereignty is usually typically more stronger the purer you are. And then you will begin to see that the darkness cannot affect you with bills and all of this. But it's a balancing and with this, and it's important to know this and to know more of these truths to we don't I don't like to say protect yourself, but in it indirectly, this is what occurs. You actually protect yourself by not protecting yourself, by doing the higher offensive of um, knowledge is power and informing yourself, but also your virtue is absolutely so important because virtue and those good acts, the energy polarity when you do that is positive. It's not negative. So then the more you are virtuous doing positive things, your energetic field becomes more positive and you don't attract these negative things like you did before. But if you go and tell one lie instantly, you'll negate your energetic field and you'll begin to attract facsimiles of that or likenesses of it that you need to contend with. So it's important also to have just a general understanding, like I just said, about how energy works because energy is creation as well. And you wish to acclimatize yourself to the most positive experiences, but positive reality. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I just would like to add what the brother Rick said. It's like when people gonna be voting for the GPMS, as soon as they're gonna lose all of their fears, because they still like, I don't know, fear of government, fear of losing their homes, fear of losing their jobs, fear of, I don't know, surviving. It's all fears. As soon as they lose all their fears, they're gonna vote. As soon as it's too bad to wait because waiting for so long, you can really just living on the streets. But why to wait so long? It's like you can do it right now when you have anything still left. Why to take it so long and just, or maybe as soon as people gonna lose their ego, because lots of people have a lot of ego and thinking they can survive by themselves, and they still are good. They still have a business. They still have a job, good payments, and just, oh, I don't care about GPMS because I'm surviving. What are you talking about? It's like a fantasy. It's like it's not for me. But as long as you lose your ego, as you understand in unity, you can have more. You can have more than your business, you can have more than your payments, and you can have more. It's like with everybody, and just doing less. You have more, doing less. Only on that time people gonna be like a mass of votes coming in, because until now they just, I don't know, looking for somebody to rule them, looking for somebody to give them directions. They're not used to be like uh, self like a rule itself, like a independent self, or like a work at it. It's still like a little child's walking around and just waiting for somebody to give them directions what to do. Yeah, it's needed time to grow up. Everyone has to stand up, grow up, and just be on their own and just understand what is important for everyone, not to just only you. Only at that time we're going to see mass of votes coming in, and they will see more lies about their governments. They will see more lies about the promises not done, and yeah, sure, it's taking time, but it's like I said, we have to be in there. We came in here to do these missions, and we have to like show the people what we can do. And, like in the worst time, I just waited for the worst time, because in the worst time I stopped driving the truck and stop walking around the street and say, "Hey, you have a choice. Hey, you have a choice. What are you doing? Come in here. You have a choice." That's it. Because I want a worst time, because it's like the best time. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Yes, Agnes.
Hello, thank you very much for this. You explain new things also for me, but what I wanna also add to this about the system is that I observe here for a long time is what's also insane and it's clear that it's not right, is that the whole system, legal system is based for when you wanna, for example, fight for your children, you have to have a lot of money. So if you have a good lawyer, or then you have chance to win. But in all these areas, when you fight or you wanna fight, I don't do it. That you need money, and most of these people don't have money. Yeah? So that's also shown how, yeah, for me it's insane, in my opinion, that's based on money to fight for the rights, for human rights, for children and all other things. So I can't understand it. So it's how it still works, and also there are lawyers, and also this possibility. So when you have less money, and you can go to some groups of lawyers, and they really help you, but they don't really do the job, like they get a lot of money. So I've got this answer from a lawyer by himself. He told me, if you have money, okay, you have chances. So it's not even he by himself, he told me this, and I said, okay, thank you very much that I know it from a real one, which how it works behind the scenes curtains. That's what I wanna add to this. Thank you.
If I may, thank you, Agnes. And I didn't know that you were that much involved, like with that situation. So that's intriguing. And yeah, what you brought up, it's another form of discrimination. If you don't have money, you don't get your children back. And, that's part of the tactics as well. What I wish to say was what Brother Sergey was saying, and I need to bring this up again. Even though on the website we suggest a majority, which if you look worldwide is 8 billion, and I put 4.1 billion just as an example. So it's easy for ones to perceive, but realistically, it's whoever we have with GPMS when it's ready to go to the new world. I don't have an exact number, but again, it's possible with what we have now goes forward, or maybe even a little bit less than that. So to give it to the world, to give them a chance and the opportunity, you have to keep it simple. But it's and as I've mentioned before, Sister Beatrice and I, in past GPMS meetings, when we went a little bit deeper into it, GPMS may only need like one decimal 8 billion or 1.2 billion. Because again, you need to look at GPMS as a universal nation as well. And when you look at India and China at having like roughly 1.4 billion, which are, let's say, the most populated nations. But if you have GPMS as a universal nation with 1.8 billion members worldwide, that is the most unprecedented, biggest voice that the world has ever known. Uh, and having said this, as I always say, it's quite possible in the blink of an eye that if we are to, at any time, we could go viral. And if we're able to reach like a million, let's say, in GPMS, that also could kick off the virality worldwide, meaning that you could go from 1 million to 5 billion or 1.8 billion overnight. Once one's realized the simplicity and the power of this. But at the same time, like India and worldwide, everyone's being forced and squeezed that they're not going to have any choice other than to choose GPMS if they have time to do it. Again, because there is the divine plan that is in place. And let's say Father's not sitting around for years and years waiting for ones to make a decisions. It has to be made, and it has to be made now. And this is one of the reasons there's the more pronounced flooding and worldwide devastations, as well as the signs in the skies. And with religion and all beliefs worldwide, it has been seeded, all of the core values in here. And you know what I see with ones saying they're spiritual, that they're not religious, if you will, and then they'll say they're Christ consciousness, but reasonably and objectively and rationally, what I need to say, the term ascension comes from the Bible. The terms of Christ consciousness, the Christ comes from the Bible. So when you begin to look at how everything everyone is doing now in alignment with ascension, it actually originated from the Bible or ancient text to some degree, which is fine. And when one say I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, actually religion is your set of beliefs and who you worship, mostly with religion and the churches of the past, with those beliefs, which is now rapidly evolving. But in the past, with the primitive religion, ones would idolize, let's say, a god, in a lot of cases, the priest or whoever is giving the sermon. But what has happened now within religions is that the ones are knowing the God within their self and connecting to the true God. But it's not to diminish any religion or belief system worldwide. GPMS does not do this. One thing GPMS does says is a prerequisite is your belief in God, because without that, it doesn't matter if you're in a Catholic church or if you're a spiritual one. It doesn't matter as long as you believe in a God. that is your direction forward, and that is a prerequisite. And this is one of the reasons GPMS doesn't discriminate on beliefs. Everyone's beliefs are important for them. It is their alignment and their direction to go forward. And if their belief system needs to evolve, it does with them themselves and organically. So we don't need to impose. We say, hey, here's what's here. This is God's will, and it becomes your choice to align with it. But again, in the New Age, many New Age groups, and also a lot of these groups have been infiltrated by false light and distorted concepts and ideas again to keep ones distracted from that uh, strongest energetic bond that takes you forward. And when you look at some of these concepts in the New Age, like, oh, the Anunnaki created humanity or something, these are lies, if you will, and it's meant to distract ones from their power and the truth for the simple reason when ones think that an Anunnaki race created them, then what it does, it the ones that believes that it enslaves their self to that to another race, and it doesn't allow them to rise with God to be Christ-like or God-like, which gives them all of their power, but also their freedom out of this illusion and the false beliefs. So everything has been seeded, all of the core values you take. I think I said this last night. You take even the Bible is a beautiful book, but things like the Bible has been manipulated. What you have in there is you have these truths, then you have these distortions that are put together. But in this great time, it doesn't diminish the Bible because the core values and the important truths are in there that you align with. In with your divine discernment, you can pick them out, what resonates, what has value, and then you're able to let go of the discrepancies which were intentionally put in there to manipulate. So once you have this, it is the foundation. It is essential to know your core values and how to act and behave. And within, things like the Bible, it gives you there many examples, many metaphors and parables as well, to show you why it's better at least to be virtuous rather than to be um, non-virtuous, to be into the vice, if I use a Catholic description of undesirable ways, if you will. But it's important for ones not to also segregate yourself. And this is so important what I'm about to say. It's important not to label yourself as spiritual, and that with religion, there's too much controlling dogma. Because the moment you begin to do that, you need to realize still encapsulated within religion are many good brothers and sisters. So the moment that you begin to discriminate other beliefs, you begin to separate you, and that's not unity. We're to embrace all brothers and sisters through all beliefs and come together as one with the simple common goals of the core values and doing what is right. So it's important for ones to be, uh, what's the word? To be conscientious. Thank you, Father. To be conscientious when you do this things and you try to put a label on your identity or what and who you are, and you keep it simple, child of God that recognizes the brothers and sisters in all race and creeds worldwide, and that we're here to support everyone, and no true human being is worth any more than another. This little 7-year-old girl in Afghanistan that is absolutely poor and begging for food on the street. She is of equal value as Musk with $430 billion. This is the truth. What makes Musk any better than this little child? It's sick what the society is. It's the beast system. And that little child to me is worth many multitudes, unlimited value, more than what Musk is with the assigned value that Earth gives to him. And same with Trump, with all these ones. Will they make light decisions? I don't know. The further they go, the more they seem to condemn themselves by their actions. But I don't give up hope, and I don't readily judge ones, but I do evaluate the situation. And that's what we're also here to do. And we're also to judge righteously, which means that we are to state the fact, because without the facts being stated and a certain righteous judgment pervade to the rest of humanity, how are we going to change the world? We don't do it by saying that's just the way it is. So we need to speak these truths. And as I said before, don't be so meticulous in your own judgment. Don't take it as your judgment, because when one acts in insidious ways, their deeds are their own judgment. And it becomes your duty, when their deeds are so obvious, to speak the truth. You're not judging them, you're merely stating the fact of their judgment. So it's important to know this, that it is important to judge righteously, but it's also important to purvey the actual truth of a judgment that someone else has placed upon themselves, if there comes that time. You cannot be humbled nor restricted by not speaking the truth, because again, nothing changes. And with the governments worldwide, there is not that transparency as we're seeing, when they, for example, when there are extensive cases that confronted the courts with constitutional laws. What you'll see is it doesn't get any press, and they'll shove it under the table to protect the system. And that is one of the tactics of the darkness again. And that's why it needs everyone above the system to come together and say enough is enough. And it's the strength in the numbers and the public awareness is the only thing that does this, really, that has any great effect. To hold them all accountable, how can you hold a system accountable when you do it and confront them with all their laws, but they sweep it under the carpet? It tells you the only resort you have left, which is what is happening now worldwide, is you got to put everything out public. You've got to put their names out. You've got to name the names as well. And you got to do it. You got to stand. You have a choice to run away and hide and let them take your children, or let their legal system rob you of everything you worked for, or you have a choice to stand in your divine trust of who and what you are and your connection to God. And every time you stand courageously in truth, and more so in this time, unprecedented, you will find miraculously you are supported with just what you need to make that stand. You could be a mom that makes the decision, no, she's not accepting her children to be taken. She's saying, I need something, God. What can happen is on her computer, she might receive a message from someone, which is an actual, very important law that she can use to confront the system with. And this begins a process of also putting in the truth, but pushing the system back so she can release her children. But again, the more that we do it worldwide with a conjoined, unified effort, the more effect and more force that we are going to have. And the numbers are out there, believe me. 85% of the world, well, 93% is in a state of lack. How many parents have had their children taken? Millions and millions have had this done. So the numbers are out there, but you just need to unite them. And this is part of at least the divine direction, what I have now from Father. We're taking that direction. How far it needs to go, I don't know, but we need to keep taking the steps. We cannot stop. If we stop, nothing gets done. So it's common sense, at least, that we keep that direction forward. But it's also with Sister Nya and with GPMS, it's one of the reasons we bring it up is because it is also paving, cutting a pathway through uh, the old artificial legal system, and it's also blazing the path for others to come quickly and rise in their divinity and their faith, in their trust, and their power, so that collectively, all together, we eradicate this monstrous beast system. It's the only way to do it. So, thank you. I'll stop there.
Oh, I can add to what Brother Rick said about Trump. When he's gonna like give the people the choice or give them like I don't know better future, he's never gonna do it because he's controlled by the secret space program that are out in the space. They have all of the technologies. As he not do it anything because he's like a he's been like a puppet for them. He just not like a simple man can be a president of United States just randomly because he was a businessman because he has some connections. No, it's not gonna happen. He had a lot of his even old grandfather. His grandfather was like in the police at the time in New York City, and he got the technologies from Nikola Tesla. So Nikola Tesla was living at the time in the hotel, and they just got everything from him, and it just robbed the Nikola Tesla from the technologies, and that's how the Trump family was involved in the secret space society and technologies. And he's not a random man. He's there where he has to be, but he's not going to give people anything simply because he is controlled by the secret space programs. And Musk is the same. He also not like a smart guy, so very smart inventor, engineer. He has all the technologies given by simply, and he just maybe invite something or invent a little bit more, but mostly it's all been in here years and years. Just everything just reverse and renew it and just reestablish. So they're all doing what they're doing, and we don't have to wait for them to do it because they're not going to do it anything. Yeah, that's all what I want to say. Thank you.
Yes, their program is practically to have still financial system even on 2050 and to implement the supposed new technology that in reality it's the old technology for more than 100 years maybe. So the implementation has to come in 10 years or more. So there is nobody that can see this supposed new technology as soon as possible or this year, or it's all the time something. For example, on the free energy, they never approve this to come. So they even that they have a plan for the energy, they have another plan from oil and gas and solar and everything. They will try to make this kind of machines more portable or something like that, but it's still not the free energy. And portable have to be paid by the people. So the new technology, it's all the time implemented on the expenses on the people, and practically is not exactly the last new technology that the people need. So we need 10 years probably to have the free energy, or how many years, because somebody wanted to do in the United States on 2023, 2024, they had a plan to catch 1 billion of people inside and to start to have the free energy. It was not possible. They said at that time it is also because of the CIA, the top of the CIA anyway. Right now we have Trump, nothing happened. The free energy is not there. So this is just another game. It's true. Yes, Agnes. You have the hand raised. Oh no, it was not put down. So we
Oh, I can
need,
add. Yeah.
yeah, so we need GPMS in order to advance everything because it's only time and time and time. It's a very slow movement, and I do not know how many people may be alive in the next year's old time doing that and trying to move away something that it's part of the darkness and is happening all the time. So.
Oh, I can add. Basically, it's like the Musk and Trump. They just removing the deep state, but they trying to be the main men around the ears, and just so the
Yeah,
ear's gonna be controlled by secret space program, but not the deep state anymore. So
I
it's like
don't
it's the
know how
same.
much they are
Yeah.
controlled there. I probably they are for sure in touch because they are like the guarantee for the earth and the others believe on them, then give them the support for the technology and everything. But at the same time, I do not know exactly who is there, but I said also 1 year ago and more, there is still a control over the earth. It's not on the good direction. It's still
Yeah.
part of the darkness. It's very clear, and it's still a sort of mafia that is coming and has this kind of the discrimination inside. So what I'm saying is practically the white hats. It's not clean up, so needs much more cleanup or whatever. There is something that is happening, and Rick addressed also yesterday in the meeting that, and today, and yeah, so it is clear again that this is all the time when we have a pyramid system, to the top something happens. So this planet experienced this for thousands of years, and the people needs autonomy system in order to stop that. It's not possible in another way. So all the time that few are on top, they start to be controlled to some point in time. This is the problem. As Rick said, he knows how the darkness is working, and it's working, as you can see. It's still working. It's still able to work because there are enough few and they can be still controlled. So this is the effect of the pyramid system and the artificial law that can be changed and can be played still until GPMS it is implemented. This is my personal opinion. I'm saying that for years, and I saw, as Rick said all the time, infiltration and darkness and effect of the darkness, and the cause it's only one. It is the pyramid all the time. Few on top that another good one, supposed good one is coming, then the darkness try to control after a short period of time there. So this is the game all the time. The autonomy has to happen. And we depend on God, we depend on Father God, we depend on the ascension, unfortunately. Dave, I saw that you posted a financial system, probably QFS, that is coming on Guardian GPMS accounts. So it is something there that you may know more, like really is coming, or it's their old advertising for the QFS. It's something really that you know that right now a financial situation may change. It does not matter if it is like GPMS or not, or but minimum a change in probably a better direction.
Are you saying I posted something?
Yeah, I believe that you posted something I saw there. It was like financial situation or reset financial, no?
No.
Oh, probably it is somebody from your old account. I'll be looking again. because I saw a post there.
May I interrupt? No, Brother Dave in our GPMS Telegram group, he put in a video the other day. Yeah, just saying that it's looked like they're almost speaking GPMS. I didn't look at the video, but that's the one she's referencing, brother, in that group. Yeah.
It is the
Yeah,
QFS system, this one.
it
Yeah,
was it was from I think Arcturian, Tia, I think was her name. And it was like a 15-20 minute video, and everything she outlined was basically the GPMS system.
yes, I saw that. It's true. The
So
value are GPMS, yes.
yeah, so their premonition is exactly the GPMS system, is what it boils down to.
So this is amazing. So practically we have the 80 benevolent right now that try to get the value of GPMS out. Oh, sorry, this is just amazing. Because practically they were more involved in the ascension, not making the system, as the people are saying, and try to collaborate with those more in charge, making the good changes. But right now we can see that practically their approach is more towards GPMS, universal laws, and the model of GPMS. This is just
Well,
amazing.
if I may, yeah, see, also intentionally, the darkness created a confusion to the respect that collectively and telepathically, some of these channelers and mediums, they are speaking full GPMS without putting GPMS on it. But also, what occurs, they don't get aligned with GPMS because of the confusion. Then they come to think it's something like a quantum financial system or Jacera that is getting all the highlights. So it attempts to distract them to associate the information they're giving with something like this, that the darkness has plastered Nasera information all over the world, if you will. So they'll quickly make that association. Oh, it must be this, when in reality it is GPMS, as Brother Dave is saying. And you could call this a divine phenomenon. I've been watching this perhaps for the last 2 years at different times where they're speaking GPMS and you're sitting there waiting. All right, are they now going to say GPMS? But they don't, not yet. But the thing is yeah, they're in alignment for it, and we know eventually it does come. Thank you.
Yes, we have almost 2 hours for today. If somebody wants to add something. Then thank you so much for the meeting, for everybody that participated today and everyone that will share this meeting. And we hope more people will become representative GPMS, and we may see them in GPMS meetings. This is the most important. So
I believe
I'm here one, but we need to be 6,000 and 6,000 speakers. So please speak.
Really, I'd say, with 300 the panel, because then it exceeds the 230 world leaders, so 300 will suffice perfectly. But I believe Sister Lodi has something to say, and I always love what she has to share, because again, the souls in the Philippines are leading the way with GPMS, and their faith also and trust in God is so very powerful. So I enjoy whatever she may have to share. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you for this opportunity again. So I was off camera because I'm multitasking and currently encoding the rest of the names from Palawan. And today I have sent almost 5,000 names to Sisternia for import to the website. And the other day, I would just like to share that the um, Tagbanwa tribal chieftain, Tatay Naring, have submitted the requested logo drawings about the history or a short folklore story of their tribe in Palawan. So hopefully, they are very excited really about that. Um, that it will be put on the website for everyone to see. And already I have placed it also on the Philippine GPMS Facebook page. And they are very happy and elated. And he told me that they are working on the list, and hopefully by the time I revisited them in Palawan, they will hand me over those follow-ups list of names. The island of Palawan has almost a million population. So I am very optimistic that the virality, the 1 million names, hopefully it will come from the Tagbanwa tribe. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. May I add, Sister Vitra? So, what Lodi is saying from the Tal, and please forgive me if I don't pronounce this correctly, the Talbunga tribe, I believe, or it's close. So what we are doing is putting their logo on our website as well as a partner in accord with. And this, I believe, we have provisioned it on the second page, and where we have Cabby there and Blue Water, I believe, or the blueprint. So we're also now putting the sovereign logo of Pala, can't pronounce it right yet. Putting that there as well to show, the growing partnership and accords of GPMS as well. So we're putting that on another page. And yes, Sister Lodi. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Did you wish to say something?
Um, what I would like to add is, as I have observed, the very reason that Filipino brothers and sisters are very open to the concept of the divine plan of GPMS is because most of the people here in the Philippines are experiencing the hardship. And so they are really seeing that to change their status, uh, the standard of living is the money as the key, as the tool, as the instrument, first and foremost, of course. And because um, other principles and philosophies won't be absorbed or understand if one is suffering or on empty stomach, because the main concern is to have food on the table, to have a better shelter, to have the family close together, living together in one roof. so really GPMS will make a very great changes, not only for the Filipino families but for the whole world. So I'm very positive and grateful that I am here to help as a guardian to make this happen. Thank you.
May I, Sister Beatrice? Thank you so much, Sister Lodi. And again, yes, instantly with GPMS upon that ratification, there is no more hunger, no more undesirable living conditions worldwide, and no more poverty. Instantly, yes, as we know, upon implementation, and to get the people to agree to it and ratify it by adding their consent to this unprecedented worldwide treaty that we are creating, if you will, this worldwide accord. Um, so, with that, if I was not clear, um, again with the logos, we're putting that. I think Sister Nya will put that on another website page, because this was our initial ideas, to have a page for all of our partners that can be referenced from a link on the front page. But also in the past, part of the Divine strategy was to put on our front page, we had Cabby and Blue Water there, but there was a multiple strategy with that to show that there was actual partners, that group that were with GPMS, but also on a deeper level, we had to fortify the integrity of GPMS with at least two different versions uh, of divine law, and one mostly from Cabby to energetically substantiate the integrity of GPMS. And but nevertheless, getting off of that, going back to what Sister Lodi just said, yeah, still looking good. Lots of numbers to come in. I need to also mention again Yolanda. Sister Yolanda was in Peru. She also has, I believe, the last information that perhaps a group of 15,000 will come there, and ideally there may be some sort of a logo from them as well. And as GPMS goes further and deeper into Peru and gathering more consents. So I look at these as at least two highlights there. We did see from Thailand and Laos some more consents about a few weeks ago, but that has, I believe, petered off to almost none again. But at least it was a huge movement forward from Thailand, possibly maybe 7 or 8,000 consents come in very quickly. I'm not sure of the number, but to share this, to say yes, recently there was days, I think 3 days, not one new consent come into GPMS. But don't let that be a um, what's the word? Oh, I don't need that word. Yeah, just to know that actually there's, when the consents are going to come in, as they are from let's say Sister Lodi or Yolanda's work, that boom, they're big blocks of consents, and they do take the numbers up quickly. Also with this, just before I stop, it's so important for any that are still uh, connected in any ways with the churches to get the GPMS information into some of the congregation of churchgoers, at least. to again let them know that, hey, this is, you're gone to church, you were told of this great time, this rapture, the kingdom of heaven, and how it'll be on earth as it is in heaven. I mean, they have the knowledge, they have the foundation in their beliefs, and they should be able to instantly connect the dots to know that this is it, what has been promised for millennium. And and really and truthfully and openly, I believe perhaps a year or two ago, I had to put out the post. It's time for the churches to repent. And part of that repentance is to stop supporting the capitalistic beast system with its money and being controlled by the state and become the true free church in alignment with God to do what is right worldwide. So the church and is undergoing that repentance. The new pope, if you will, I remain objective with that, but I was divinely informed to look at part of his speech, and amazing to it's in alignment with the New World, and he has stated publicly the repentance of the church as well, the Catholic Church. And again, I look at this as a good sign because it's not a false positive. It is a positive that it's in the right direction also to lead their existing congregation towards this, the freedom and the liberation. And also the Pope spoke about, yeah, the time is now, the end time signs are all here, and they know the second coming, if you will, is the message. What the Pope give to the people is very close at hand. It's now, and this also is in alignment and resonates with what I'm given from the Father and for GPMS and for the Ascension. So just objectively looking at the Pope, at least the speech has the positive direction in it and the alignment for the congregation. So when the congregations understand this, the congregation of the Catholic Church is being prepared, if you will, also for GPMS. And this is what's occurring, the good portion of it. Now, we know notoriously throughout the Catholic Church and other churches, it totally infiltrated with pedophile priests and all of this sickness and darkness. But nevertheless, putting all that aside and just evaluating what the Pope put out objectively, it is in alignment to take the congregation forward at recognizing that the heaven on earth is now at hand. So you look at that common denominator in alignment. So having said this, I am very grateful to see those words were spoken to the congregations, and it should divinely inspire them to become more aligned with GPMS. So not only, the Roman Catholic Church, but the other church denominations worldwide watch this as well, and they also must go through that repentance of not supporting the beast system and the state churches. Relatively worldwide, there are very, 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 very few free churches that retain their divine dignity to not be controlled by the state nor the governments. And these denominations have been very small because of what it entails to stand in this divine dignity, yet they were able to persevere and succeed to the amount that they needed to be the examples as well for all of um, all of the Christianity at least. So it is significant to look how things are also divinely set up abstractly that we don't need to directly put our fingers to. It's done on another divine level because again, all of the children of God are within all race and creed, and those that are going forward, it's divinely assured and insured that they do, and that means the alignment of coming together. And again, this great time has been spoken about when you reference some things in the Bible that is truth, is all of the people coming together as one worldwide. Beautiful. Brother Sergey.
Oh yeah, I just would like to add, it's going to be shortly because it's too long taking our meeting. But it's like, yes, about churches. It's like it was in history, in our history, it was like a prophecy about Fatima showing, it's like a small city, Fatima in Portugal, in 19 something, 1910 or 1915, I'm not so sure about year. It was some showing of the Mother Mary or Holy Mother Sophia of the humanity. The showing was in the time, and three small children saw her, and she gives them like a three. She spoke with them three times and gives them like a information what's going to happen with humanity until they're going to turn back to the God and believe in God and start to do the good things. And these children get this information, and church spoke with the children after that and get it, understand it, understand what it's going to happen. But the church refused to give it. And the first time the Mother Mary or Mother Sophia spoke with the children and said, you people have a World War One, and the war has to stop. You have to believe in God. You have to stop fighting. Until then, it's going to be disaster. And the church have this information. They give it to the people. And second time, the Mother Mary or Sophia said, it's second war going to come. And the nation, what was so upset, it's like a German nation was so upset about the things happened with them, they're going to start this war. And the church know it before, and they give it to the people. And now it's the third coming, and I'm not so sure what's going to be in third, but something big and huge. And Pope finally have to speak because he knows this. He knows what's going to come because the Mother Maria, Mother Sophia gave it to them. And they're still quiet now. Probably it's time to them to speak and tell people, you have to turn back to the God and believe and just changes. Love each other and all of these good things and all at the bad time going to come to you. And probably Pope has the time to fix it because all of these years they didn't fix it yet. But it's time to them to fix it. Okay, thank you.
Yes, so Rick, the meeting of yesterday has again 2,000, 3,000 views. And there are a lot of priests inside of that group, just to let you know. The problem in Romania, why they are not one of the, probably is the first reason why they are not coming forward. It is because of the infiltration of the church. They have agents inside of the church that they contacted me before when you were coming in Romania. This one also told me because I saw a video where the priest in Romania started to speak about the AT benevolent, that they are here, they will come, they are equal with us, do not believe that they are God, but at the same time they are good ones. And when I told him about that, he said, "Oh, this is a great information. They have no the right to speak about the AT benevolent, that they exist." He wanted to hide this information, and he put me to send him the video, practically to give him the information about the priest, the name of the priest, because he wanted to remove them from the church. I never did that. Then I knew that he's an infiltrator there. So they have the infiltration, so the church has the infiltration. The Romania church, the top level, they know about the true Bible of Jesus, that it is to the Vatican. They do not speak about that. They let the actual Bible and the influence on the church and everything. So the priests are not free to speak out. It's not only losing money and losing their right of profession. It's not only that. So you saw what happened with Adrian and others. So practically, they can go on the jail time. So they will be around to invoke something about them, then they will be on the jail time. More than that, um, uh, practically it is about, he was coming back again, and he wanted just to see what is happening with GPMS because of the election in Romania. And I said, move away from me, please. I know who you are, and I will say your name public, so move away from me. And he was coming back and said, we have the president right now that it supported the church, the actual form of church in Romania. And I said, I want to hear nothing about. Then he was coming and he said, you are a traitor of Romania. So, I'll be under the treason of Romania because I said I do not care about any kind of president. We are doing something else much bigger. So the president is not for me, and I do not vote and I do not support any kind of political party. So he want to make me right now to give me on treason for Romania and everything on the treason for the actual Church of Romania. So they have the infiltration. This is my message. So there is enough infiltration there. They hear you. So we have probably 7 or 8 video. I do not know, in the last 2 weeks, almost every week. And the interest is there. So 3,000, doesn't matter what happened with the group. So they are there all the time. They see the video in 24 hours. Does not matter if they are exactly on the timing of the video or not, but in 24 hours they see the video. So the interest is there. Even that Mircea posted very late in the last 12 hours, not even before like 48 hours or. So the interest is there, but they cannot speak out. This is one of the reasons. It's so evident for me, the infiltration on the church. This is the reason that if I enter in a church, I enter alone. I prefer to speak with nobody because of everything that I know that is happening there. I cannot speak. Even that I will try to speak with a priest, I do not know if it is a priest or an agent. And even that it's a good priest, and I discovered that, I am afraid to say everything that I know. Do not put him in danger, because me, I'm already public. But me, mom, do not put him in danger. Do not endanger others. So it's like for their protection.
The full trust in truth with God, with any priest here, if they are genuine, they are protected through that trust, and nothing does occur. I understand the way that the church is set up, mostly in Romania, that everyone gets paid in the church from the actual state. And I also know about the intrusion of the Secret Service and the diplomatic politic structure of the past of it. However, at the same time, we are in the unprecedented times of the new covenant, meaning that even the church, the Orthodox Christian Church of Romania, and especially the priests and the clergy, knew of this time that was coming, the new covenant. And this is also what GPMS is, meaning that the church has no choice but the genuine church in Romania and its priests, pastors, bishops, what have you, to come with GPMS. Because again, as I explained earlier, they have to make the choice what is in alignment with God. And that is the GPMS system that creates no harm. If they continue to be part of this beast system, of this capitalistic system of money, every day they are contributing to perhaps 35,000 deaths worldwide because of hunger, because this beast system has to go. So, on an individual level, as Father said as well, what you are going to see, it's already occurring in Romania, is Father's words that certain priests are also being divinely contacted and Father's words elevated above their present suppression by the state run church, because they play a very important role in also taking uh, the Orthodox Christian beliefs forward as well um, with this. And again, one of the things with Romania is that what Father had said long ago, before I even knew I'd be in Romania, he had said the Orthodox Christians are the most powerful and closest to Mother and Father God, even though what their religion and their practices may say now, it's the importance alignment of their trust and belief in God, which is prevalent throughout Romania here. And it is that belief what transforms even the Orthodox religion here very quickly. And we are in the divine protocol, the divine ascension, meaning that this is in the hands of Father, and any of these genuine church leaders will have no choice but to align with the ascension, with GPMS, and what is occurring. It doesn't matter if there's a quadrillion secret service out there telling the church what to do. This doesn't matter to God in the connection to this priest. There's nothing that a quadrillion secret service aligned with darkness, they can do nothing. This is the omnipotent power and presence of God. So they will be Father. To me, I was going to say they would be contacted, but Father said it's already occurring. That these priests, on their individual level, is opening up a broader communion with Father and Mother God as well, because they need to be the examples to evolve the Christian faith forward and into the New Testament, the new belief structure. It cannot remain the same. And again, everyone on earth is at the mercy of the divine plan and divine will of Mother and Father God. And nothing can go oppose it or contest it. It may take a little bit longer, but it has to fall in line, in alignment with doing what is right. And just quickly before we go here, I only learned this week in Romania to share with everyone. I had to do, Father instructed me to do a quick online search to see how much income taxes the Romanian people paid. So I did a little online search and it said 10%. I said, wow, that's very impressive when you look at perhaps Canada or the rest of the world. But then Father said, no, now you got to consult a divine brother here in Romania. And he gave me the exact results because of payroll taxes and other things. He said, actually, Rick, the right correct amount is about 53% of their earnings. And with that, so I had to then contact a divine sister here because she's working for minimum wage, to ask her if it was correct, because really when you do any research, you need two accredited witnesses to create an incontestable testimony. So I did this, and he said, yes, Rick. And I said, wow. So the minimum wage here in Romania is just over 4,000 RON a month. So that would be to do the quick math on it, what it equated it into euros is that she is working for perhaps 20 or 22 euros a day, an 8-hour day, which is, let's say, about $2.50 per hour euro. And we do see the prices increasing and rising here as well, or I have noticed an inflation that has also begun. And, really, I did not know how suppressed Romania was with the people, on how hard it was for them to make ends meet, but the resilience and the ingenuity of the Romanian people here in the countryside to grow their own gardens and their own livestock and things. This significantly supports them to that effect. But you cannot have, let's say, you can have, and what will be in the future, there will be no lack of food, but with the current beast system, many people needed to work to make money, and they don't have the time to, grow their own food or what have you. And again, with many expats, ones that needed to leave Romania to send money home. And I was even in a remote village up in the mountains, and I come across the Western Union. I said, "What's a Western Union doing way up here?" And I asked a brother I was with. He said, "Well, many from this community, they work abroad and they send money home. So there had to be the close place for them to receive the money from home." And I'm not sure of the numbers. I thought it was only about 3 million expats that are Romanians, but are out all over Europe and the world, where making as much money as they can. And many here, they go to the UK taxi driving from the ones close to this community to make the money to send back home. And they got to leave their families and their children for months, to do this. But just sharing, I didn't realize, that it was that what the let's say the lower class of Romanians, what they actually live off of here. To me, that it is an insult. $2.50 like an hour. But then when I compare myself with what Femke and I, yearly, we have been functioning off of about 16,000 euros for two of us, and with all the hours I put in and we put in, we're probably only getting if you turned our funding into and attribute it to our actual hours, we're probably only receiving $1 or so an hour too. But it's not about the money. It's we have everything we need, and it's about getting this job done. But yeah, wow, yeah. So
Yes, we just received 200 consent from Uganda during the meeting. Probably the group may start. I do not know. I hope. I'll put the question if they want to start again or not. But anyway, this happened like 40 minutes ago. Yeah, so, we never know when the people start, or it depends on them. But to some point, probably in the future, something may happen anyway. And I hope this may come sooner than later. We have more than 2 hours and a half. So I may
yeah, with
say,
that, love, light, and gratitude, everyone, and we must go.
yes. So see you soon as possible, and never forget, we are Divine-gpms.world, and we are making the real worldwide referendum for the people. This is the most important, and we need your consents and your contribution as representative to gather consents. Thank you so much.